This is all you need to know about going viral. And I'm going to tell you this without any fluff, without any heavy edits, without any crazy captions or zoom ins, zoom outs, just pure raw truth. And I'm giving it to you for free because the honest truth is this is easier said than done, but this is all you need to know. More or less. Consistent virality comes from three simple steps that you just rinse and repeat over and over. So let's start with step one, which is the concept of universally understood themes. Whatever you make content around, you have to figure out how to frame it and package it so that it's interesting and digestible for 10 million people or more. 10 million people is the lowest bar that you should be shooting for. Now, this is not saying that every video needs to be seen by 10 million people, just that every concept you put out could be interesting to 10 million people or more. This also doesn't mean abandoning your niche. It means making your niche digestible and interesting to the masses. Casey Neistat did this with storytelling and film. Mark Rober did it with engineering. TD Bricks has done it with Lego. Mr. Beast has essentially done this with the game show formula. And you need to do the same thing within your space. Step two is to start making content that could resonate with 10 million people or more. Whatever you think that's going to be, you got to execute on it. And it's got to hit those people in the feels, or it's got to make them feel curious, or it's got to make them feel amazed. It has to make them feel something. This is something that like people just seem to miss. They think they're just going to make content within their space and it's going to work. No, you got to make your stuff interesting to everybody. And you need to make this content that you think is going to work consistently until a pattern develops. I'll give you an example on my own account. Recently, I created this video that was like a millennial nostalgic experience and it has over 14 million views. So then I made another one very similar and it got like 47,000 views. So does that mean that I give up? Maybe. But I can't until I've produced this same type of media over and over with different like hooks and concepts and delivery and structure until I find a formula that works every single time, or until I'm forced to face the fact that the first video that got 14 million views was just a fluke. And if that video is just a fluke, then I go back to step one and I start the whole process over again. Now, if there is a pattern of high engagement that I tap into, then I move on to step three. This is where you figure out if your views can be monetized. And it doesn't matter if it's through a creativity program, through AdSense, through conversions to a product, sales, brand deals, funneling views towards your business, whatever the case is. If making money is important to you, you've got to then figure out how to convert your views into customers and dollars and cents. And if you can't do that and monetization is important to you, then you go back to step one. And you do this again. Every single major creator who has over 1 million followers on any platform who makes a lot of money doing this full time has gone through this process. And it's true, doing all of this is easier said than done, and creating content that resonates with millions of people regardless of your niche is a skill set in and of itself. But most people can't even build that skill set because they're stuck in their head that they don't realize that a clear pattern of low engagement has emerged that's just screaming at them to stop what they're doing and try something else. But most creators just continue to create the same low engagement garbage that they've been doing for months, wasting their time, spinning their wheels, and they blame it on the algorithm or shadow banning or not having the right gear. They blame their editor, when the real problem is them as creators and their inability to take accountability and just change something to see what else might work for them. And sometimes what was working just stops working one day. And why it stopped working doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is it's not working, so you need to figure out what will. But no matter what happens to you as a creator, if you understand these three principles, you'll always be able to work your way out of a rut that you're in. Because this three-step process that I just explained to you isn't about hacking an algorithm. It's about experimenting with your content formula until you find a recipe that people like to digest and consume. And the beauty around all of this is most human beings have a predictable entertainment diet that they like to consume on a daily basis. And all you have to do is find what that is and apply it to your niche. Pay attention to what's working, trim the fat of what isn't, and you will grow. That's all there is to it.